Hello guys, my name is Sam and welcome back to SWTOR Central, and in today's video we have the latest roadmap released by Eric Musco himself as he returns to BioWare. The good and glorious Eric Musco coming back and giving us some good news is what we like to hear. Okay, so everything that we see in this roadmap today is basically going to be everything between now and the next expansion. It's probably also fair to say that this roadmap is considerably shorter than other roadmaps we've seen, although this is probably to be expected because we're not coming into a new expansion just yet, so I imagine the roadmap for an expansion, if there's going to be one, is going to be much bigger than this. Like I said, this is basically just everything between now and the next expansion. So like all your summer events and everything leading up to just before the expansion releases. Although you should probably even take that with a pinch of salt. Okay, so to begin with, Keith does talk about how he has now been the producer for the game for an entire year, which is obviously pretty awesome. We also have double confirmation that the end of the Eternal storyline, has in fact ended, and he hopes we've enjoyed our time with Fer and Shan and the other characters. Which obviously doesn't mean that they're going to be leaving. They, of course, will be staying, especially if you choose them to live and whatnot. And the focus moving forward is going to remain storytelling, along with quality of life improvements, and a little bit more emphasis on PvP as we move throughout the summer. Although we'll get into that a little bit more later on. Keith also says at the end of the year, we'll introduce an exciting new storyline and multiplayer gameplay, all leading to an explosive conflict with new characters to meet and planets to explore in the new year. Now from this, we can kind of tell that what's being said here is that a new expansion is going to be teased up until the new year and then released in the new year. And that probably doesn't sound great to a lot of people. Even I was expecting to have an expansion this year, but nothing is yet set in stone, so we're just gonna have to see how this kind of plays out. Anyways, moving forward, the first thing we have here to talk about is going to be the quality of life improvements. Okay, so Keith talks about enhancing the game's systems. Once again, I believe this was done before, especially before the server merges, the good old server merges. They're going to be advancing the utility of their internal tools. Now, basically, the reason they're going to be doing this is so that they can bring new and different things to the game. So they need to add new things like to the coding or the structuring of the engine or just whatever it is. They just need to improve it so that they can bring new and more awesome things to the game. Think of it like an upgrade, right? They're also going to be improving the game servers and augmenting tech infrastructure. I don't know what that means to anybody watching this, but improving game servers is a good thing, I guess, and the infrastructure is also a good thing, I guess. It's maintenance, right? Maintenance for the game is good. This includes the guild conquest system we rolled out at the end of March 2018, and will continue to refine and improve them for guilds of all sizes. So more refinements are going to be made to the conquest system for guilds, which is obviously a good thing because we've seen them be a little bit, up and down over the past couple of weeks / months. So to have that still being refined more down the line is obviously going to be a good thing. Okay, and the last thing here in the quality of life improvements is going to be the player test server, also known as the PTS. Now, for anybody who is not familiar with this, the player test server is a separate game folder that you download for Star Wars: The Old Republic, where you can test the latest update before it goes to the live servers. You'll be able to go on there and test out the new features, the new gameplay aspects, and give feedback to the developers on what they need to improve or fix before it hits the live servers to make the overall experience for every player much better. The plan for this at the moment is going to be tallying with the PvP aspects that they're going to be bringing. There is no time set in stone here, so we're just going to have to wait and see when they bring this out. But nonetheless, having the PTS back is going to be a very good thing, and it's also very good for videos as well. So you can expect me to make some videos on the player test server. Okay, so moving on from the quality of life improvements, we're going to be moving on to game update 5.9.1, which is titled Solo Fun. Now, this is of course going to be themed around the new Solo movie, which is releasing. And because of this, we are going to be getting the nightlife event back, which is going to be running from May 22nd all the way up to midnight on June 30th. However, that is just for the nightlife event, which is a week's period, so that's about normal for an event to be lasting in Star Wars: The Old Republic, but the rest of this is going to last for 10 days, so you've got a couple extra days with the rest of this, which I'll get into now. So in addition to the nightlife event, we're going to have a bunch of new Cartel Market items, which are going to be themed around a scoundrel sort of look, and then we're also going to be getting double XP, double CXP, and GSF rewards. And again, keeping in mind, they're going to be running for 10 days and not just a week. The nightlife event will be running for a week. The rest of it will be there for 10 days. I'll make sure there's dates on screen for you. We also have a new TF4 Rampage Speeder. I don't have a screenshot of this, otherwise I would show you it. But you will get this as a subscriber reward. So if you are a subscriber on the 31st of May, you will receive this in your mail by the 9th of June. So it's just a neat little subscriber reward, a cool mount for you to have which will surely be unique and not HK themed. Okay, so now we're moving into the chunkier part of what is coming in the summer, and this is going to be around PvP. So anybody who enjoys PvP or likes PvP or PvP tournaments, definitely stay tuned for this bit. Again, there is no specific date for this, it is just titled as PvP in the summer. Okay, so the first thing they're going to be doing is converting more, if not all, of our war zones and arenas to allow cross-faction grouping. So as you can tell, we're starting out pretty strong. This means no matter what war zone or what arena you are going into, there is going to be a much bigger matchmaking queue for you, because you're going to be having Jedis and Sith group up to take down the enemy. It's not just going to be Republic versus Empire for the PvP matchmaking, which is obviously a very good thing. It's going to exponentially increase the matchmaking queue. They are going to be adding a new arena set in a compound that we have seen before. So there's no indication of where this arena is going to be, other than that we're getting a new arena. So cool, a new 4v4 map is going to be added. They are developing a new Hutball war zone set in the dangerous and dizzying heights of an industrial planet. See, when it says industrial planet, it makes me think of Nar Shaddaa or maybe even Coruscant. I don't know why, but to be fair, industrial could mean many different planets in the Star Wars universe. So we're gonna have to wait and see what that one is. But a new war zone is a good thing. Okay, so don't be confused by this next one. It's going to make more sense as I go a little bit more in depth with it. So we're going to be getting a new stronghold with a beachfront view. We of course know this to be confirmed as Rishi. It even says here, now you ask, what does this have to do with PvP? And in fact, quite a bit, because it does. For the first time, we are introducing a stronghold designed around PvP, which can be tailored toward player-driven dueling, 4v4, or even 8v8 battles. We know there's a passionate audience of PvP players who run their own dueling tournaments within their strongholds. So we want to support that by making some under-the-hood improvements and by tailoring the spaces to support different styles of play. As with all strongholds, you can decorate it any way you like, but we're also enhancing stronghold decorations to support PvP gameplay. This means you can use decorations to hide behind, lay out obstacles, which allows the owner of the stronghold to create a huge variety of custom PvP layouts to use in battle amongst friends. So it is very true that there are a lot of people out there who do like to have duels in their strongholds, and there is also a dueling tournament run by Snave, the Twitch streamer, known as the Ultimate Red Star Championship, I believe it's called. So having this kind of update brought to strongholds is actually going to be really cool, and even I'm going to be looking into this, having PvP enhancements made to strongholds, or maybe just this stronghold specifically, is going to be pretty damn cool. I'm also very curious to see what they're going to be doing with decorations, what kind of new decorations they're going to bring, because I've always thought it'd be cool if you could place like the acid pits that you see in Hutball, or the fire pits, that kind of thing. If you could have those in your stronghold, that would be pretty damn awesome. Okay, now moving on from the stronghold side of things here, we're going to be getting to the end of Season 9. This is for ranked PvP play. Right now, we're scheduling this for July, and we'll let everyone know the rewards in late June. So the rewards for Season 9 are going to be released in the end of June, or at least you're going to be able to see them, and then you'll be able to get them in July, which will be the official end of Season 9. Now, the next thing here is going to be, we are investigating ways of improving the experience of all war zones. Now, this is very vague. It doesn't really tell us what it's doing. I would imagine that they should be doing something like this all of the time anyways, and constantly looking for ways to improve them. But hopefully what this is actually indicating is the clipping hacks that we've seen in PvP, along with other known bugs that have made PvP competition or competitiveness not very fun for a few people. They are also taking an in-depth look at our unranked PvP matchmaking system overall to see what kinds of improvements we can make to better ensure every match is a good one. Again, this one is also very vague, and I feel like it could be easily fixed if they just gave us the option to queue for map preferences, that kind of thing. If they want to queue for 8v8s, then only queue for those, or if they want to queue for 4v4s, then only queue for those, or just something along those lines. Again, that's just something off the top of my head. But all this attention and TLC going to PvP is a very good thing, so it's going to be nice to see PvP finally getting some refinement over this summer. We're also exploring giving unranked players more queue control over which warzone and arenas they want to play. This is literally what I was just talking about. So if you're going into what we know as a regs match, which is unranked, you may quite possibly in the future be able to choose what kind of map or playstyle you want to go for, whether it be 8v8 or a 4v4 or a Hutball match or a capture the flag match, whatever game mode we have. We absolutely do not have capture the flag, but we do have King of the Hill kind of thing. So yeah, oh is it Conquest? Is it more like Conquest? I think it's more like Conquest, right? Anyways, moving on. They're going to be focusing attention on exploiters, cheaters, and adjusting how ranked Warzones complete. This will be an ongoing effort, but like all of you, we want Warzones and arenas to be fair, competitive, and fun. Now, this is something that is very, very important to a lot of PvP players out there, because there are some people really ruining the competitiveness and the overall fun aspect of PvP, whether it be regs or ranked. People who have been clipping through nerds and people who have been hacking the game, people who have been win trading, that sort of thing. If they're saying that they are going to be putting some focus on this, then I really hope that they actually follow through with that, because we've heard them say similar things, so they need to make sure that they actually go through with this and put an end, or at least minimize the impact that they are having on the game. Okay, so that was it for PvP in the roadmap, but that was a big chunk of new PvP stuff, so hopefully that's going to satisfy a lot of PvP players. Just hope that the Season 9 rewards are going to be pretty damn awesome. Okay, so the last thing we have here is titled Beyond September. So this will be the end of the summer and what is coming afterwards. So this is like a little tease at what is to come. For our story and PvE players, you have not been forgotten, and coming this fall, along with the return of some very cool companions and big updates for guilds, we'll introduce a completely new storyline that will kick off a new set of challenges and adventures that will continue into the new year. That's a highlight of the things you can expect to see in the coming year. Keep your eyes on Twitch, social media, and on our forums as we continue to release more details around each update. Feel free to reach out with questions. As always, we're listening and learning from you. Okay, so this last statement here actually makes a very good point. So allow me to just remind everybody that the roadmap does hold information on what is to come in the future. So everything you see in this video will be coming in the future. However, when we get closer to that specific update rolling out, more details about it will be released. So not all of those details are in the roadmap. So make sure you keep that in mind, because when that update releases, again, a lot more information surrounding that update will be released. Okay, now trekking back here, it talks about the return of companions, which I'm kind of disappointed to hear that it's not really going to happen fully until until autumn, which is kind of bad, I think. But hey, they're coming back, which is a good thing. Let's just hope that we get Jason before then. And that there are going to be some big updates for guilds, which is kind of interesting, but again, very vague, so we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens there. They're going to be introducing a completely new storyline. Again, this is something we would expect, and I was actually expecting to see this with a new expansion. However, after thinking about this, this could actually be the story that leads us into the next expansion. If we think back to 3.0 and the Shadow of Revan, at the end of that storyline, we had the Zeost storyline, which was kind of the prequel to Knights of the Fallen Empire. It was those events that led us into the events of Knights of the Fallen Empire. So this could quite possibly be what we are seeing to lead us into the next expansion, which unfortunately would mean that the next expansion isn't coming in until at the very least the end of this year, or at the latest in the new year. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was everything for this roadmap. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you understand the roadmap a little bit more, or at least get some insight. Let me know what you think of the roadmap down below, and make sure you also go to the post on the forums for the roadmap and leave some feedback there. Feedback is very important, especially if you want the game to move in a somewhat different direction and you are supported. Then, you know, things can happen. We've seen these kind of things happen before. So if you want your feedback to be seen and heard, then make sure you go and post it. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.